I didn't have this fancy business plan. All I knew is that I needed to create some recipes. So that's where I started off creating the recipes. I'm a cook, so I really wanted to get that spot on. So you could actually do it yourself in your home and then get your premises registered by the council. And I went through a bit of that process. I actually spent some money going to a food scientist, which you don't have to do, but you can do for certain products. And for me, it wasn't necessarily the right thing to do at that point in time, because I realised, maybe it was good to do, but I realised that actually I wasn't going to be able to make it myself. It just wasn't going to be possible at home with the kids. I've got such a limited time. I had to work out, well, actually, I need someone else to make it so that I can focus on selling it. So after I had this session with the food scientist, where they sort of went through a few of the processes that I might do at home, I thought, you know what, I don't think this is going to be possible. But I was very fortunate in that within a week, I managed to find a manufacturer. So within a week, I actually was sitting with the manufacturer and doing some test batches, which then I sold at the farmer's market. So that was in the December. So I started on September. November, I started doing it, looking around, and then got that turned around really, really quickly. Some people, it can take a year to find the right manufacturer. My manufacturer are small and did small batches. So I think previously I had this conception that you had to make thousands of units. Therefore, it was going to be, how could I possibly have a manufacturer? But actually, you can get small manufacturers as well. So there are certainly, you have to, if you were wanting to start a food business, you have to kind of look at the pros and cons of it all. You lose margin, but you save time. So it kind of just depends on what you want to do, really. So I did that. I sold them at the farmer's market. I think it's a great thing to do, to test it. I had given some samples to friends and friends of friends, but you never really hear back. And that ended up being, it was okay. It was a bit of a waste of time. So the farmer's market was brilliant because, I did 2 dates and sold 250 bottles in 2 dates, which is a lot of sauce. And you just see people's feedback. You see them trying it and they say, wow, this is amazing. And they buy it. So you know that you're onto something. I then went away and worked on the branding because the bottles I'd taken to the farmer's market were just done on Canva. And I then I was looking at agencies, and you can spend a lot of money on an agency. And if I had investment and if I had a big budget, then, you would do. But a friend of mine was a designer. She knew a copywriter. So I built a small team and we worked on the brief together. And, we approached it as professionally as we could. They've worked in agencies, so I was lucky in that respect. I came up with a mood board, worked on the design and what I wanted, what I sort of felt the USPs were, who I felt my target audience were, wrote did a sort of detailed description really of who is my target person, what food do they like, where do they hang out online, built a profile up and created sort of a brand based on the values, I suppose. And yeah, that was going to launch in the April. So I'd given myself about 3 months to create that brand. And then obviously lockdown happened. It actually gave me the chance to reevaluate the branding because we'd done it, hadn't gone to print yet, thankfully. And I had a mock-up that was looking at me, and every time I opened the cupboard, and I was like, this doesn't feel quite right. So we went back, worked on it again, and then we're ready to go in June. So